All right, football officially back. Well, I mean, okay, listen, we didn't quite get CJ Stroud versus Caleb Williams like maybe we were hoping, but you know what? I like football. I like discussing football. If we have to do a Davis Mills film study here, hey, it's something, right? We are the drug addict getting the hit that they give you at the hospital just so that you don't completely lose your mind. But hey, it's still better than nothing. So why don't we just get into it? Because I thought Davis Mills played pretty well in this small sample size preseason thing, and I think it's worth talking about. So yeah, if that's not an exciting enough intro for you, I don't know what is. Let's talk some Davis Mills. Let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is, so it's going to be kind of a simple play, really. It's just a zone coverage, over the middle type play. A lot of times you'll do this with a play action, try to get those linebackers out of position, and that's what they're doing here. So we'll see how well it works. Mills is going to take the snap. He does run the play action and then looks further down the field. And you see right here, there's a window that appears to be getting ready to open up. Not a huge window, not like, okay, this is, easily open, but definitely a throw he should make in this situation. So, again, this is very early on, has not had a lot of live reps. Getting the timing on this, down is going to be difficult. But I would say it does a pretty good job here. It isn't complete. It does hit his receiver in his hands. I would say that's pretty good. So, again, this is kind of what you look for someone like Davis Mills. Obviously, he's not competing for the starting job anytime soon, but can he come in and just run the offense well? You have to assume that Stephon Diggs is making that grab, right? So, if they do need him for a couple games, seems like he can be able to do this kind of thing. Also, something like this is a lot of what we saw from Mills. Again, it's the preseason, so you're just not seeing that much super creative stuff. You see very basic defensive schemes. You see very basic offensive schemes. It is what it is. But still, this is what we saw a lot of. I like to tell the story of what I saw, so if it's something that's maybe not the most interesting, I'm still going to talk about it. Although it's something that a little bit of intrigue here. Zone coverage, cover 2 zone. You have a tight end running a route that, again, could get open against this coverage. When Mills takes the snap, he's going to immediately look in that direction, and you see how the tight end kind of has the outside leverage the way he wants. He's closer towards the sideline than the player who's covering him, so this is a good situation for Mills. Definitely a throw he, again, should make. Mills times it well, gets the ball over there. So, being able to time these plays pretty well, given the fact that, he's rusty. He hasn't played in a while. He's just coming off the offseason. Being able to do this stuff is good, and, just thinking about it now, a big benefit of it as well, right, is if he's going to be a backup, he might have to come in rusty. So being able to, on this first drive, do a good job. They got a touchdown on this drive. So being able to kind of come in that cold and do well, obviously I'm sure he had, since he knew he was playing, it's not exactly the same scenario as if it was just, quarterback gets injured mid-game, but still, it's good to see if you're a Texans fan. I mentioned he had a touchdown on the, on the opening possession. Let's talk about the touchdown on the opening possession. It was a good play by him. So, again, not the most fancy scheme in the world. It's kind of this cover 2 zone that the Bears were playing a lot. So, for the Texans, you see that there's a route that can get open against this coverage, right? The one going more towards the sideline, definitely a route that, against cover 2 could work, and kind of the benefit of when a team is playing a specific coverage play after play is you can run concepts to beat that coverage. However, when this play begins, Mills takes the snap, and right here, should he make this throw? Again, you could. It's not like one of those, I would say absolutely not, but it's difficult because it really is double coverage. There's 2 Chicago players that can run in and, make a play. So if you're going to make this throw, you have to get it there quickly, and when you think about the fact that Mills is going to be throwing this from the hash marks towards the bottom of the screen, I think it's a smart move to not look in that direction and to look elsewhere. So that's what Mills decides to do. He looks instead more towards the bottom of the screen. You see right over there is a player who is open. So, okay, good stuff. Mills also very quickly is able to pull the trigger, and again, kind of a weird way to make that throw more towards the middle, but really it just kind of hit the, hit his player as quick as possible, and then, not the best angle by that Chicago player, number 45, which results in a touchdown. So, good stuff there by Mills. There was this play, which was, I'm going to assume, just a miscommunication more than anything, but it's going to be a zone coverage concept. You have a player who's going to be running a route more towards the sideline, underneath everything. Again, this is a very simple play, not going for a home run, going for a single here, almost like a bunt, really, not going for a lot of yards. And when it begins, though, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, as the old expression goes, you can't go broke making a profit. If you can get some, 5-yard completion, you'll certainly take it. Here's the issue, though, is you have to be on the same page. It's weird because it looks like the player is cutting now. It looks like Mills sees this. His throw, though, is just, passed, and I almost wonder if it kind of looked like the receiver almost stopped. Maybe he even slipped a little bit. I'm not sure. Just a weird play, and didn't help that the defensive back, in trying to make the catch, just jumped into the Chicago player. So again, it's preseason, some weird stuff going on. Not something I would really sit here and be too worried about if I'm a Texans fan. Again, I'm not sure if anything Mills could do would get you too worried as a Texans fan, given that he's a backup. But yeah, kind of an interesting play, worth talking about. But I wouldn't read too much into it, even if it could have resulted in an interception. I don't think it was really, if it was his fault, it's a communication thing with a player that's new, not like he just made a horrible play. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for Davis Mills. It was I think a good performance. Again, if we're viewing Mills, I think there's two ways to view Mills. There's he's just a backup, in which case I think he's shown that he can come in cold and play well, which is something that's important. And I think that if you're a Texans fan, you like to see that. There's the other aspect, which is is he a trade candidate perhaps? Or is he someone who could, let's say, for example, someone, I don't know, Aaron Rodgers gets injured again, God forbid, then is there do they say maybe we can go after someone like Davis Mills? Although they have Tyrod Taylor now, so maybe not. But you get the idea. If a contending team has a quarterback get injured, do they maybe look towards Mills, someone who has shown that he can be successful? I think, if anything, they would do that because of what he's shown in the regular season, not because of a decent preseason game. But, I don't know. Like I said, I think there is some positives seeing that he can come in cold and play well. But, yeah, I mean, as the whole, I'll be honest, not the most exciting preseason game. A little bit disappointing that no one went with their starters. There's still some interesting stuff, though. Like I said, I like doing this stuff. I have fun with this. If you're new here, new to this channel, I typically do this for a lot of the preseason games, and I do this for, a ton of the regular season games. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But yeah, as I kind of said earlier, hey, I'm sure we're just breaking down Davis Mills' film. It's not it's not Aaron Rodgers' film, all that stuff. I get it. I'm still having fun here. Football's back. How can you complain about football? Every year there's the people that say, oh, preseason's so boring. You know what? You can be bored if you want to. I'm having fun talking football. So those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.